After the pandemic changed content forever, Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube was honestly forever changed. We had breakout series like the Progression series. We had explosive growth all around. And we have finally moved past dual replays and deck profiles into good content. But it does have its dissidents. The man with the Goku profile picture claims that YouTube is nothing but luck. Coder claims that it's skill-based and that anyone who puts in enough hard work can make it. MBT, little bit of the middle of the road, and that there's definitely a fair amount of luck involved. Well, I am here to tell you all the definitive truth on whether or not making it on YouTube is luck or skill on today's Smarter with Stevie. For those of you who may not be familiar with me, it is I, Stevie Blunder, niche internet micro celebrity on the YugiTubes. My metrics, 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Pretty alright. 50,000 trillion followers on Twitch. And 100% stolen content, baby. All of it, my content. Your content? My content. Nice PowerPoint font. Fuck you, as a default. When I'm talking about luck in YugiTube, what am I not talking about? I'm not talking about luck in regards to, say, socioeconomic factors. I'm not talking about your place of birth or residence. And I'm not trying to talk about other factors beyond reasonable control, like your household income or stuff like that. That sort of stuff I think kind of detracts from the main argument. People saying like, oh, if you're born in Yemen, then you're not going to be able to make it on YugiTube. That has its own factors. I'm only talking about the concept where if one is in a position to reasonably pursue YouTube or Twitch as a career, is it luck or skill deterministic of your overall success? There's a quote that I live by. Luck is the excuse that people use to justify why other people have done things that they can't. Rainad, circa 2020. And that's why I believe luck is 100% irrelevant. Luck is an excuse. I do believe that hard work is vital. Who would have guessed? Oh my god, why does the bold font look like shit? Who would have guessed that hard work, drive, and commitment are needed? However, if you're using a screwdriver to hammer a nail, you're not going to get the same results as somebody who's using, you know, like a hammer. People use luck in this sort of field as an excuse for them missing opportunities, lack of knowledge to properly capitalize on opportunities presented to them, and the inability to understand why their previous super high status within the sphere has completely fallen off. You and your actions, for the most part, are forever the sole reason for your success within the space. There's no cosmic dice being rolled against you. When you're thinking about like that saying where 95% of businesses go out of business year one, a lot of that is not really a luck-based issue. It's just people who are inexperienced trying to start businesses. That are people who have started business as like a vanity project or like a passion project without realizing how much work put into it. It's not like God is up there like rolling a dice, and if you roll like a 20, Gordon Ramsay's newest restaurant in like the hottest part of the city is gonna immediately flop. Gordon Ramsay is always gonna succeed. People who have the proper business acumen are always gonna succeed. And speaking of people who are always gonna succeed, League of Legends, the perfect example of this analogy. It had to compete with Dota at the time, which was without a doubt the single most popular MOBA, and the release of Dota 2 a couple years after. And still, it does primarily outclass them in terms of recognizability. League of Legends did not succeed due to luck. People with purpose and drive, they made it succeed. Ex-Dota employees, they built League with like a clear intention of what it was gonna be and how to cater towards audiences of Dota that were sort of not feeling it anymore. They ultimately sought out and did that, and they had the skills and capability to do so. Additional knowledge and support also boosted them. Strong character design, much more marketable merch, more avenues of accessibility to the world of League, such as Arcane, Legends of Runeterra, the fucking K-pop group. Like, those are all things Dota doesn't do in any capacity, but Riot has just been able to capitalize. Riot's decisions and their product is not, you know, just a sole product of luck. So, what do I think defines successful content? What do I think defines a successful product? We will go into the first Stevie theory. The cum theory. Yes, I am being 100% serious. There are three things that I think drive success in YouTube, a product, individual brand, anything. You need C, good content, U, understanding, and M, marketing. Let's break it down. What is good content? Prepare for like the most subjective part of this entire fucking presentation. Good content, to me personally, they are ideas that work for you. It's content that people are familiar with, yet it's still novel. Again, if you want good content, you could just steal content that's already working. You can apply concepts from other channels that you know has been successful, and you can apply it towards your own audiences. You do not want to be the 30-second Team Samurai clone, or you don't want to be a fucking budget XQC. You want to be a fresh face a fresh personality, and have fresh content. If you just solely treat yourself as another emulation of someone else within the space, say if I just pretend to be a Farfa clone, guess what? They're gonna be forever compared to the person above them. My personal favorite content creator, and I think who has the best content overall, is MBT. I think that personally, it's not luck at all that he succeeded within the space, even if he does say so regarding his collaborations and his sudden growth over the past 2.5 years. So, what allowed him to succeed? Content that appealed to a wide brand of Yu-Gi-Oh players within the space of his 10-minute testing and his discussion segments on stream is definitely one of them. I'm pretty sure everybody can sort of unanimously agree that his 10-minute testings and the way how he formats his scripts, his jokes, how he presents them is without a doubt the #1 reason why they watch MBT. I think MBT is an extremely popular figure for just his presentation style. It's so unique and refreshing to see within the Yu-Gi-Oh space, you know, space that has deck profiles and people screaming. It's a nice, good, fresh air to see, like, you know, a little skit here and there. When you really think about it, when you really boil down MBT's content, it's not really that unique. It's here's a Master Duel clip. Oh, here's a Twitter thread. These sort of things are not very unique concepts in Yu-Gi-Oh! However, Joseph does present these concepts in such a unique fashion that he has been able to see such amazing success relative to everyone else who sort of does the same thing but doesn't innovate or have the same fresh presentation style that's easy to digest the same way that he does. What's the concept of understanding your audience? The #1 thing I must say, if you do not understand what audience is like and how to change for your audiences and the changing audiences of time, you will never succeed. I mean this without a single doubt. There have been dozens and dozens and dozens of YouTubers who have fallen off because their content never changed, and there have been a lot of YouTubers who have shut up because their content adapted towards the audiences that they farmed. When it comes to understanding, there are two things. You want to understand what's alive, and you want to understand what's dead. You want to understand that if something is new and fresh and has seen success, don't be afraid to take that concept and make it your own. You don't even have to make it your own. Sometimes you could just straight up yoink and no twist. You look at Rev's cards. Rev's cards basically kind of just stole Gage's sealed only series, and I think he has more subscribers than Gage now, which is very, very funny. When you look at my content, Smarter with Stevie's is just a mix of Get Smarter Saturdays and MBT's drama sessions. And then you kind of have to understand when to jump ship. Trends that have been generally oversaturated or extremely dominated by hundreds of names for an extremely long time usually are not worth sinking your efforts into. See Progression Series. Progression Series was one of the best and worst things to happen for Yu-Gi-Oh! It introduced a mainstream audience that players could get behind and follow, but at the same time, a lot of people did a lot of yoink and sploink, but they didn't really see it through. You know what I mean? That is continuously ongoing, dragging its feet, and you're just going to try to be like, I will replicate this, and it will replicate the former glories of this. Again, look at old Mega Capital G videos where he basically repeated the same sort of content over and over and over again, and his audience extremely dwindled. If you see that something is clearly not working, and you understand that this content no longer has a home, it is okay to give up on that concept. And fourth, what is good marketing? It sort of falls under the idea of networking. And unfortunately, networking is the world's most disgusting term that I hate to use, but unfortunately, it kind of fits. When we're talking about how to network, there are 3 ways of how to market yourself. You can market yourself through collaborations, you can market yourself through outside tractions in outside platforms, or you can market yourself in events. Getting your name into as many different avenues as possible is definitely key in order to growing a brand or your channel as fast as humanly possible. Collabs. Personally, you do not need to work exclusively with the big names. If you're a starting YouTuber, you do not need to @Farfa or @MBT and be like, hey, Farfa, MBT, can you be on my game show? Can you be on my whatever? You do not need to do so. In all honesty, they're not going to do it with you because they won't recognize you as a name within the space. Working with smaller or equal-sized creators works just as well. Again, look at the VTuber space on Master Duel. There are a lot of VTubers who are around my size that I work with on a very constant level. And how many of you guys are VTuber watchers? Spheres of influence is basically how many platforms you're on. You do not have to be a Twitch streamer. You do not have to be a YouTuber. You do not have to be a TikToker. You do not have to have an Instagram. You do not have to have a Snapchat. But they do help. And to pretend that these things do not help in regards to garnering more of an audience is a bit of a lie and a bit of cope. And events. Events are arguably the biggest thing that you could do in order to help grow your own channel. in regards to getting yourself into more people's names. Attend events if you're invited to them. If you have nothing better to do, attend those events. Do not be afraid to take those opportunities by the horns and just run with them. Being able to sit next to the big names and just associate with them within a shared space is an amazing opportunity for yourself to boost collab opportunities in order for yourself to be much more familial with larger or smaller tubers, that sort of deal. It is very, very important that you do so. So let's go over a quick review. Hard work. You need it. Who would have guessed? Hard work, effort goes a big way. Luck versus skill. Luck is not real, and you do need to have the skill to see the opportunities and trends that others blindly attribute to getting lucky and being all that matters. Again, look at the come theory. You need come. Come is so important in order for you to succeed on YouTube. You are ultimately all that matters when it comes to your success or failure on YouTube. Again, you will succeed or fail entirely based on your own merits, decision makings, and honestly, sometimes you're just fuck ups. You need to have good content. Find your role, bring a fresh personality and idea, and make it look good. Understand your audience. Balance your novelty and familiarity, but understand that it's okay to drop ideas if you think they're not working or dragging on way too long or part of a bygone era. Again, Mega Capital G, kind of repeating the same sort of videos for a very long time, and now he's pretty gamer. And finally, get the word out. You want to market yourself, you want to collab, you want to talk to people big and small, and post it on multiple platforms. Don't stay isolated in a box. You want yourself to be exposed to as many people as possible, because if you collab with someone who's got their own audience who may not know, congratulations, you now have just acquired a whole new net of fish. Joel? So 5. What should I do now? You watch this PowerPoint, you watch this part of the stream, and you're like, what should I do now? I want to be a YouTuber. I understand that skill is better than luck. It's all about the small steps. How to start being a content creator? It's 3 easy steps. Set a goal for yourself. You make content, you repeat. You repeat this cycle infinitely for the rest of your life. It is a very simple plan, but simple doesn't mean easy. What does this mean specifically? In regards to goals, you don't want to be specific. This goes for all sorts of goals. You do not want to be so specific for stuff that's kind of out of your control, in the sense where I will hit 100,000 subs in a year, or let's say if you're talking about a New Year's resolution, I want to lose X pounds over the course of Y amount of time. It's too specific, and there's going to be too many variables at plays. You want to be broad. Being broad and having a general idea or theme of what you want to do is much more important. Saying that I will create 3 new series within the Yu-Gi-Oh space that haven't been done before within the year is a much more broad, open-minded, and less specific thing than saying I will create a new series that will reach 1 million views by the end of the month. When it comes to making content, just do it. Make your content. It's gonna be bad, but you're gonna get better over time. It took me about 1 year of super serious, hyper-focused, dedicating all of my time in order to get to where I am now. And I'm still just a fucking little Joel in a pond full of, I don't know, what's a bigger fish than a sturgeon? Experience the acquisition of more knowledge, seeking more and more advice, is going to turn your content from mold into gold. You want to be constantly learning. You want to be constantly within spheres where you're able to improve your content over and over and over again. And I think that is the most important thing than just relying on an algorithm to blindly pick up your stuff. Because if an algorithm picks up your stuff and your content sucks, congratulations, your content will never take off again. And when it comes to repeating, this is not an overnight process unless your name is literally Dream Minecraft. This is a process that for most people, in order to reliably see, is going to take years. You have to be able to pick yourself up after a bad video and not rest on your laurels, even if you posted a really good video. Anyways, focus on growing. And that's it! Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my social media down below, twitch.tv/StevieBlunder, youtube.com/C/StevieBlunderReal, because someone with a Naruto profile picture stole mine, and twitter.com/StevieBlunder__. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you guys for being here with me for this whole presentation. And yeah, TLDR, it's all skill. It's all skill. Learn come. The come theory works. It works.